protective over your robot out there.
That's nice to hear.
Because I saw it, and first of all I thought, well, it's not going to be up to much. And then it just carried on, got better and better, and just impressed me so much by the end. I felt actually quite maternal towards it. Now, what are you gutted?
Not quite sure.
Not sure. It's not fair, is it, really, though?
Nah.
I think you had the much better robot. They won. They were brute force and ignorance, really.
They were less subtle than we were, and we lost out because we didn't have enough control over the robots.
Well, I have to say, it's wonderful to have a robot like yours, where you really don't know what to expect. And it's just brilliant to watch, brilliant entertainment.
I'm really pleased with it because it's been actually quite reliable. It took some big hits.
I know.
And it actually carried on working.
I know. It's fairly mashed, isn't it? That would be fair to say, wouldn't it?
The lifters got quite severely bent, and that's what stopped us from actually flipping them over a second time, because they actually hit it so hard, and we couldn't actually get it low enough to get under them off there. It just kept bringing us to a halt.
Right, well, don't give up on these ones. Back next Wars with a walker, but we loved it.
But Jules, what's going on here in the pits with the Exterminator? I think we've got real problems here for the heat finalists.
We've changed over the control on it for a flipper lock instead of an axe. So we've got to invert it back again. At the last minute. 2 minutes to go.
Will they get it right in time? Exterminator 2 are number 22 seeds against Behemoth and number 6 from Hemel Hempstead. This is how they got to the heat final. Behemoth taking on Arnold A Terminegger, but together with Arnold defeating Rambot. Then, the mighty victory against Judge Shred 2. Meanwhile, Exterminator, with the Judge, were beating Millennium Bug. The Walker was in the end toppled. Before Exterminator saw Arnold Terminegger on the Judge's decision.
Marlon, come and tell us about the problem that you've just been having.
Well, to take on Behemoth, we've changed over to our flipper device, and we found we had an air leak having to reverse the cylinder, and so we've had to change the configuration back a bit at the last minute, desperately to fix the air leak. But the flipper is going, and we're ready to take them on.
I noticed you were very nippy in the last battle.
Yeah.
Do you think possibly a little bit too nippy? Could you come down a gear and get a bit more control?
We're going to try and get a bit more control, a bit slower in this one, a bit more tactical of a fight.
So Exterminator have made some tactical changes for fighting Behemoth. You've made it to the heat finals in the last 2 wars. Please beat them. We want to see you at the series semis.
Yeah, we will try. So every year we try.
Yeah, we do. So hopefully this is our year again, as it was in Series 2.
And have you caught sight of their flipper?
We have, but it's only very narrow, so
exactly
the chances of getting onto us are less than they are with us.
So you're quite confident, really, aren't you?
Hopefully, yeah.
Well, I am too. On you go, lads.
Thank you.
Just one thing stands between our 2 robots now and the series semi-finals, and that's each other. It's the 3rd and final round.
Robotwars, stand by. From Hereford and seeded number 22, X-Terminator.
Marlon Pritchard, Paul Lewis, Simon Baldwin, the Exterminator team.
From Hemel Hempstead and number 6 seed, Behemoth.
Kane Aston, Anthony Pritchard and his brother Michael there on the right, the Behemoth team.
3, 2, 1. Activate.
Both these machines reaching a heat final for the 2nd series running. Let's see if the Exterminator flipper is working. Behemoth immediately turns them up and over. Well, it is working, the flipper, because it's acted almost as a streamer. With, of course, the help from the side spikes as well, but the initial plunge and attack was taken by Behemoth with a pneumatic scoop. Behemoth is the bigger of the 2 robots, slightly the heavier and certainly the more aggressive. And I think Anthony and Michael showed great control at really steering Behemoth around the arena floor. Exterminator rocks and rolls. Marlon Pritchard at the controls, now on the attack. The Behemoth, sturdy, heavy, too strong. They try and flick Behemoth up and over, getting in there on the side of the scoop, pushing it into the CPZ. Shunt can come out on the attack, using its own scoop. Behemoth, head head-to-head there with Exterminator. Slam and bam, 160 kilos met there in the two robots with a frontal attack. There they try and use that little flicker to push Behemoth up and over, trying to tag it there on the side spike of Behemoth Exterminator. Behemoth started the strong. Exterminator has come back very well, and I would guess is now on top in this heat final. Trying to use the side spikes to add an extra flick to Behemoth. Riding the attack of Exterminator, now gets away. Will have to dodge the arena floor flipper. Dangerously near that flipper there, Behemoth. They size each other up. Back away. Exterminator nudging forward towards Behemoth. Out comes Dead Metal trying to grasp Behemoth. Very much now Exterminator on top and on the attack. Trying to get in underneath Behemoth again. A ground clearance of 25mm on Behemoth. Only 15mm on Exterminator. That's the Exterminator team. Can Behemoth come back in? I think at the moment they're struggling, the number 6 seeds. For me, it's Exterminator on top. Seeded 22. Will the Behemoth boys suffer disappointment in another heat final? The arena floor spiked them last time around. Behemoth again, looking as if they're in trouble here. Exterminator trying to flip them over one last time. It'll go to the judges. Well, I think Exterminator, Marlon, Paul and Simon have it. And the Pritchard boys and Kane Aston will be disappointed, but it's up to those judges, of course. Judging on style, control, damage and aggression. The early aggression from Behemoth, certainly. And again there, so points tallying up for Behemoth. Good style by Exterminator to self-right, and then in the closing stages, they really were aggressive. Not a great deal of damage caused. Very even heat final.
The judges have made their decision. Remember, lads, it's based on style, control, damage and aggression. Behemoth, the 6 seeds are out. It's Exterminator!
Come on!
Guys, the 6 seed, one of my favourite robots. It looked like it was all over in the first 2 seconds. I mean, you flipped him, but his self-righter worked really well, didn't it?
Yeah, it did. It brought him back, so...
And then you had problems. What are your problems?
Well, it's basically there's a right way, a wrong way, and a Behemoth way. And basically, Behemoth way is the wrong way.
Well, you seem to be sort of just stuck in going in a line. It's like you couldn't change and turn.
From the last round, we had to change cog inside the gearbox because it was slipping.
Yeah.
And I think it's done it again. So...
And what was your... You didn't seem to get your shovel working like you used to have it working.
It was working fine, but we didn't use it because we wasn't on them. So... You know, it's only any use if they're on the front.
Good flips in, but...
Yeah, I mean, you put them right over
after
first.
the drive, really, it was all right for a little bit. It got worse and worse and then completely went. So we had basically no drive on one side.
It was a war of attrition after that. I'll tell you what, though, you always flatter to deceive. Are you going to come back and win this competition one day?
One day. One day.
One day.
I hope so. You're great competitors. Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for Behemoth!
Oh.
Were you nervous?
I was a bit nerve-wracking waiting for that one.
Yeah. I mean, that self-righter, works, doesn't it?
When we had it last year, we didn't get a chance to use it, so it's proved its worth this year.
I tell you what, I mean, they were 2 similarly shaped robots. I mean, and they are quite strong. Their shovel's really strong. Were you nervous coming into the bout?
Yeah, we weren't sure what was going to happen, because we haven't used the flip mechanism on ours before.
Yeah.
So we weren't sure if that was going to be strong enough to flip them. So it was all cross fingers, cross toes, and hope for the best.
You're through to the series semi-finals. You've knocked out the 6th seed, one of the best robots. Do you think you can go all the way?
Knows. Can give it a try, innit?
I'm sure you will. Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for Exterminator! Well, it's the show that Alice Cooper ignores. He can't do heavy metal like Robotwars. Bye-bye.
Madonna, Steps and U2 top of the pops on BBC One in just a moment.